Nobody tells you that love does not just fade, it leaks slowly through the small moments you stopped paying attention to, through the good mornings you forgot to say, through the look you used to give, and then one day simply did not. And by the time most people notice, the leak has already become a flood. Amira was 39 years old, and from the outside, her life looked complete. She had a husband who came home every night, a house that was clean and full, children who were fed and loved, and a routine so perfectly constructed that nothing was ever out of place. But at night, when the house went quiet, she would lie beside the man she had chosen 15 years ago and feel completely alone. She did not hate him. That was not the problem. She remembered a time when she would hear his car pull into the driveway and feel something move inside her chest. She remembered when they would talk for hours about nothing and everything. She remembered when his hand on her back meant the world was safe. But somewhere between the bills and the school runs and the promotions and the arguments about small things, they had stopped being lovers and become roommates, very organized, very polite, very distant roommates. Amira told herself this was normal. She had heard other women say it. She had read articles that confirmed it. She believed the lie that time was supposed to do this, that passion was something only young people felt, that comfort was the mature version of love. But one evening, her youngest child, a 7-year-old boy, said something that broke her open. He looked at an old photograph on the wall, a photo of Amira and her husband laughing at some long forgotten moment, and he said to her, "Mommy, why do you and Daddy not look like that anymore?" Children see what adults have learned to ignore. That one sentence from a 7-year-old did what 15 years of quiet disappointment could not. It forced her to see the truth she had been managing instead of fixing. She was not maintaining a marriage, she was surviving one. And there is an enormous difference between those two things. So Amira made a decision, not a grand romantic gesture, not a dramatic speech, just a quiet and serious decision to learn how to love her husband again on purpose. And what she discovered changed everything. The first thing she learned was this: attention is the language of love that everyone understands, but almost no one speaks anymore. She realized she had stopped paying attention to him as a person. She knew his schedule, she knew his habits, she knew his frustrations, but she had stopped being curious about him. She stopped asking what he was thinking about. She stopped noticing when something was weighing on him. She treated him like a known quantity, fully understood, fully processed, requiring no further investigation. But human beings are not finished products. They keep changing, they keep growing, they keep carrying new things inside them. And the moment you stop being curious about the person you love, you begin loving a version of them that no longer exists. From today, ask your partner one real question every single day, not about logistics, not about the children, not about money, something real, something that reaches for who they actually are right now. The second thing Amira learned was that she had let touch become functional, a hand extended to help, a kiss offered out of habit, a hug that was really just a greeting. Touch had stopped being a conversation between them and become a transaction. Research confirms what every human heart already knows. Non-sexual physical affection is one of the most powerful ways two people stay bonded. A hand held for no reason, a forehead kissed before leaving, a moment where bodies simply acknowledge each other without any agenda. You must bring touch back into your relationship, not as a prelude to something else, but as its own complete sentence. Touch that says, I see you, I am still here, you still matter to me. The third thing she discovered was how much resentment she had been storing. like old furniture in a room no one uses. She was not angry in big dramatic ways. She was angry in quiet, accumulated ways, things he had said years ago that she never addressed, times she had sacrificed and never felt acknowledged, moments she had needed him and he had been absent without understanding why she needed him. She had packed all of it into silence and called it maturity. But it was not maturity, it was a wound she kept reopening every time she looked at him. You cannot love someone fully while secretly tallying everything they owe you. The debt you keep in your heart will bankrupt your relationship long before anything external ever does. You must have the conversations you have been avoiding, not to punish, not to win, but to clear the air so that something new can grow in the space where the resentment used to live. The fourth thing Amira did was something most people never consider. She started investing in herself again. She had spent years pouring herself into everyone else and had forgotten to tend to who she was becoming. When she stopped growing, she stopped being interesting to herself. And when you stop being interesting to yourself, you stop being magnetic to the person who fell in love with you. The most attractive thing a person can be to their long term partner is someone who is still alive inside, someone who is still curious, still becoming, still showing up with new energy and new perspectives. Your relationship needs you to be a full person, not a depleted person who gives from an empty place. The fifth thing she learned was perhaps the hardest. She had to choose him again, consciously, deliberately, not because she had to, not because leaving felt too complicated, not because of the children or the shared mortgage or the years already invested, but because she looked at him one morning making coffee with his back turned to her, and she decided, I am going to choose this man today on purpose. And here is the thing that no one tells you about long relationships. The early love is easy because it is involuntary. You fall, you do not choose to fall. But lasting love, the love that actually means something, that kind of love is a daily decision. It is a verb, not a feeling. It is something you do with your hands and your words and your attention every single morning, even on the mornings when it is hard, especially on those mornings. Now, here is the thing that will reframe everything you think you know about keeping love alive. You do not fall out of love because you chose the wrong person. Most of the time, you fall out of love because you stopped choosing them. Love does not require the perfect partner. It requires a person who wakes up and decides again and again and again. The relationship is not failing because something is wrong with it. It is fading because both people are waiting for the other one to start first, and both people are losing while they wait. Stop waiting. You are the one who decides when the relationship starts again. This is the line that changed Amira, and I want it to change you too. The secret to keeping love alive is not finding someone worth loving. It is becoming someone who still chooses to love every day without being asked. Amira and her husband are not perfect. They still have hard days. They still miss each other sometimes while standing in the same room, but they are trying now. They are paying attention now. They are choosing each other now. And that choice, made daily, with intention and with care, is the most powerful force in any relationship. Do not wait for a 7-year-old to hold up a photograph and ask you where you went. You are still here. Start acting like it. Go home tonight and look at the person you chose and choose them again. Touch them like it matters. Ask them something real. Let them see that they are not just part of your life. They are the reason you want your life to be good. Love is not something that lives in the past. It is something you build every single day. With the small, ordinary moments most people have completely stopped noticing. I want to ask you something important, and I want you to answer honestly in the comments below. What is one small thing you used to do for your partner that you stopped doing? And when are you going to start again? Think about it. Be honest. Leave it below, because someone reading your answer might need to hear it today. Follow Dr. Shema for more advice that goes deep into your heart every single day.